Shaney T. Livingston is the Library Director of the Alachua County Library District. Before becoming Library Director, she served as the Interim Library Director and the Director of Administration Services. She started her career at the Library District as Budget Manager in 1990. Before coming to the Library District, her other career stops included being the Associate Director for the Central Florida Community Action Agency in Gainesville, and accountant positions with Baldwin Realty and Investment, the University of Florida, and the Department of Banking and Finance in Tallahassee. Shaney has a bachelor's degree of science in accounting from Florida A&M University and a master's degree in library and informational studies from Florida State University. She is currently a member of the Florida Library Association, its legislative committee, and effective in July, she will be on its executive board. She is also a member of the Friends of the Library, the American Library Association, the Public Library Association, the Alachua County Children's Alliance Board, and the United Way of North Central Florida and its governance board. Shaney was recognized in 2015 as one of the Women Who Make a Difference by the Girl Scouts of Gateway Council. In 2001, she received the Alachua County Library District's Einstein Award, and in 1986, she received the Central Florida Community Action Agency Outstanding Leadership Award. Welcome, Shaney.
Thank you, Mark. I'm happy to be here with you.
That's an impressive resume.
Well, thank you.
Why don't we get started just by the most important part of your organization, which is your mission, and I know you have a great tagline as well. What is the mission of the library?
Well, the mission of the library, Mark, is a key to building a better community by creating opportunities to participate, connect, and discover. And our tagline is thinking outside the book. And we feel that the tagline is most appropriate because we go beyond the book in providing essential services to build a better community for all of our citizens.
You know, I love that tagline because so many people, I think, have the very mistaken impression that libraries are somehow suffering in the digital age, and I know enough about the library to know that that's not the case at all, that utilizations are up, and you do so many different things other than just people checking out books. Let's start, though, with talking a little bit about the collection. I know you've got a lot of libraries, and tell me a little bit about the collection of materials that you have.
Okay, well, our collection includes over 750,000 items, and it's a very diverse community. So our goal and focus is to make sure that we have the format, the scope, and the depth necessary to meet the current and anticipated needs of all of our residents.
And it's not just books anymore. When you say collection, I know you're talking about more than just the actual old-fashioned book itself. Yeah.
Yes. I mean, of course, the majority of the collection does represent books. Right. But let me just talk about some of the recent additions that we've added to our collection. Okay. Back in 2014, we added what's called the Sizzler collection.
Is that a bunch of romance novels, or what is that?
Well, it's sort of been the trend nationally lately that circulation numbers were beginning to sort of go down. And we decided that it was important to be proactive and to look at ways that we could actually sort of reintroduce the print collection to the community. And so what the Sizzler collection is all about, these are some of our bestsellers, the new books, and those are on the shelves when you walk into any location, and we have bought extra copies so that they're available and you can just come in and get them readily without having to go through the reserve list.
So Sizzler means just whatever's hot.
Just whatever's hot. Just sort of a jazzy name we came up with, something that's hot. And then we added in 2014 DVDs and CDs to it as well, just trying to make sure that we're getting people to check out more items from the library. and then there's a shorter time period for that. You can check them out for 14 days, and then your AV items for 7 days. So this is something you don't have to necessarily put on reserve.
Right.
If you walk into any location and that item is available on the Sizzle collection, it's yours for the taking.
Nice. And what are your book club kits?
Well, we came up with that idea in 2013 in Alachua County and actually across the nation. Book clubs are becoming very popular.
Right.
And so we have people in the community who have book clubs, and they're coming in, checking out books. So again, we came up with an idea, how can we meet that demand? And we have this beautiful tote bag that has our name on it. And in that kit, there are 10 copies of a particular title, a large print copy, and an audio CD. And so this just gives them a summary of the information, such as the review and the author's biography. And it's in a rolling tote bag that makes it very easy for them to carry when they come in.
Do you provide the refreshments for the book club party, or how does that?
Well, we do not do that part. We give them everything in one nice tote bag, and then they can do the refreshments.
And do they suggest the titles to you, or do you just figure, you know, you look at the Sizzler list and see what's hot?
It's a combination. It's a combination. Some book clubs may know exactly what book they would like to read, and then we also have a suggested title that book clubs can read as well.
I know when you talk about your collection now, it's much more than just the physical books and CDs. And let's talk a little bit about your digital collection, because, and I should tell you that I am a user of the eBooks.
Okay.
I think it's just fantastic. So tell us about the online branch of the Alachua County Library.
Yeah, that's what I was going to start with, is the e-branch, which our website is www.aclib.us. And last year, the e-branch rose to second in total checkouts after Mill Hopper.
Oh, is that right?
Yes, it did. So the online e-branch is what we call our 24/7 location. Even when we're closed, the public can still access what's happening at the library by going online for those e-resources.
Right.
The digital collection, in addition to our e-branch, we have eBooks, as you just said that you were a fan of, and we also have e-audio books that's available for checkout as well.
It's just so amazingly convenient.
Yes.
And, you know, to tell you the truth, I never thought that I would put down the hard copy book. I just like the tactile feeling of reading a book until I actually decided to get out of my box or my book.
Your book.
And I did one on my iPad, and I haven't looked back. I really like it. And so if you're an existing library member, then you can access this. Is that correct?
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think one of the advantages with the eBooks is that when you're traveling, as you just said, you can put it on your iPad, you can put it on your cell phone. So it's very convenient because you may have access to 9 or 10 books while you're traveling, as opposed to having to physically carry that number of books.
And when you go online, if the number of ebooks that you have is available, you can download it immediately.
Yes.
I think there's some software involved that you download.
Yes,
Yeah.
and you can actually contact any staff at any location, and they're always available to assist the patrons in how to get those things connected on their book.
And like your hard collection, you've got books, you've got music, ebooks you mentioned.
Yes.
So you've got that whole variety of products.
Right. And another thing that is part of our digital collection that I really would like to talk about and promote is what we call Freegal Music. This is a downloadable music service.
Oh, okay.
And we added this in 2014. And if you have a library card, you can get the Freegal app, and you can download 5 songs per week to any Apple or Android device.
Is that right?
Yes.
Now, do you listen to them and then they go away, or do they stay on your device?
No, they stay on your device.
Really?
This is the one free service that the library offers that when you check it out, it's yours for as long as you choose.
I won't get a late notice, or?
No, you will not get a late notice for this.
Not that I've ever been late on a book.
Okay, okay. If you download it to your phone or to your iPad, it remains on that device until such time as you choose to take it off. And this particular service There's almost access to over 9 million songs
Really?
from 28,000 music labels such as Sony Music, and it's also a selection from 100 different countries.
Now, you've also, your catalog services are online as well, right?
Yes.
So all the different reference ways that you can look for stuff, you can do that
Yes.
online?
You can do that online as well. We have numerous databases. One, for example, is Newsbank. You can come into the library and read the Gainesville Sun, the Ocala, Star Banner, the New York Times, and things like that. There are a lot of databases that are available to assist with homework help as well.
I see.
And one thing that we added in 2015 is what we call auto renewal. So when you check out a book, you can actually go online, you get a notification that it's due, and if you want to auto renew it, you can do it, and it saves your trip from having to come back into the library.
That's nice.
Yes.
You know, speaking of going back into the library, though, I'm so lucky that I'm about a block away
Right.
in my office to the library, and as much as I love your e-services, nothing quite replaces going into a library. The variety of people that are in there, and people that are, you know, some people go to, it's part of their ritual to go and read a magazine or read a newspaper, and there's something really special about that. And I have to say, the people that work at the library are phenomenal. No matter what lame brain question I come up with, they find me the answer. Let's switch gears a little bit, though, and I know everyone is important to you, but I know you have some very particular programs for children and for teens, and that those are an area of special concern for you. So can you talk a little bit about children's programming and what you have available?
Yes, and let me just back up before I get into the programs.
Sure.
We started our renovation and expansion projects a few years back, and one of the things that transpired in doing that is that we have been able to add snuggle up centers. And when we opened the new headquarters library, it was 4 times larger than the old library. So it actually gave an opportunity to have a dedicated children's space.
Right.
And at headquarters and the other locations, not all of them have snuggle up centers, but as we renovate and expand, that is the goal, to have a snuggle up center. And so this allows the kids to come in, and they're beautifully little snuggle up centers with toys and different things to interact. We have padded carpets so that the staff can hold story time, toddler time, lap time, and just really engage the children in these programs. We also have what's called the AWE literacy computers. These are designed specifically for those kids, with the cute little toys and things that the kids can touch screen and enjoy with that. One of the new programs that we introduced last year was something called Sensory Storytime.
Yeah, what is that? That fascinated me.
Yes, this is a partnership with the University of Florida Center for Autism. As you may be aware, autism is something that's really sort of happening nationwide. And so what the staff came up with is, how do we engage those children as well? So in Sensory Storytime, they have the nice little quilts that helps them with colors. They're what we call the little lap dolls that they put in their laps to sort of just weight them down, but to give them an opportunity to really engage in rhythm and sound and be a part of what's going on.
Has that been a popular program? Is it
That has been a very popular program over the last year. We're doing it again this year and looking at ways to further expand it. Last year, we actually received an award, an innovation award, from the Northeast Florida Network Information Network for that. And I was just informed a few days ago that the Florida Library Association is going to award us with the Betty Miller Youth Award for this program. So it is something that's taking traction in the community.
What is baby lap time?
Well, baby lap time is just where the babies come in and they have little different toys and activities that they get to do, just something to keep them engaged and interactive. We really believe that it's important to get kids to read at a very early age. So that's where the learning really begins, and we feel like the more programs that we can have to engage them, that the mothers, the fathers can bring them into the library and get them engaged with board books and games and the computers, it really helps their learning to start.
So much emphasis right now on that 0 to 5 age range, and you all offer so many resources to assist with parents. And What about the STEAM program? Tell me about that.
Well, this past summer, the Alachua branch had an opportunity to get a grant from Dollar General. And one of the librarians out there became very creative and decided that she would do some things with robotics, with 3D printing. And we had the kids to come in during the summer, and they just made all kind of little different gadgets. And they were very excited and proud to do that. And STEAM is something that's really beginning to take traction within the school board and the community. So this year, we're actually beginning to venture out more in that area to look at some 3D printing, look at some maker spaces. How do we get more immersed in the science and technology area to really be able to assist the school board in helping the kids with these projects?
I'm jumping around here because in doing the research before I was talking to you, there are just so many things you do.
Yes, yes.
We would need a couple hours to give it justice. But
Yes, we would.
I know you have puppet programs and puppeteers that you work with.
Yes, that's part of the story time as well. We have staff who actually do puppet shows and all different kind of shows just to really get the kids to interact and to engage in what's going on.
I know you have special teen spaces at your various branches and teen art shows that you do. And what is the Battle of the Books?
Well, the Battle of the Books is that at each location we pick a book, and then each location develops a team. Okay. And they read the book, then someone hosts the Battle of the Books and asks the questions. The teams that gets the most answers correct from that, then they become the winner of the Battle of Books.
Sounds like that old It's Academic game show on TV? Or?
Yes, somewhat similar, but there again, it's an opportunity to get the teens to come into the library and to get them engaged in reading. That's the whole concept behind the teens, the teen space. Give them an area that they can come in. They have their own computers. They have their cool furniture. There's a TV in there. They have their own collection, and they're able to interact with their peers, to study, to play games, use the computer, or whatever. And that's really the whole concept of having the teen spaces, is to give them their own little world to do their thing when they come to the library.
And teens prefer their own little world, so...
Absolutely, absolutely.
I've heard a rumor that something called Fandemonium is coming. Can you tell me about that?
Well, actually, Fandemonium was one of the new programs that we introduced last year.
Oh, okay.
And it's coming up again this April, April 9th. And what Fandemonium is an opportunity for the community to come in dressed up in their comic costumes and to come in and participate in a variety of programs that we're hosting throughout the district. Last year, we brought in 2 authors for that event, had about 900 individuals who were there in attendance. And we're actually hoping that this year that Fandemonium will be even bigger.
Well, as a former comic book addict, I'm glad that you're recognizing the literary value of a good comic book.
Absolutely. And a Comic-Con is something that's really beginning to take traction, around the country. We've heard that there have been some areas that have had a Comic-Con and they've had up to 4,000 individuals to attend. As I said, last year we had 900, and I'm hoping this year maybe we will have 1,800. We can double the attendance of last year.
I am so worried that I'm not going to get everything in because you are doing so much, so I'm going to kind of go through a lightning round here and talk about some things. I know you're very involved in adult literacy.
Yes.
Can you give me just a quick kind of
just a quick description of that. We do have a literacy program, and what we do there is we actually match tutors with learners, and the past 2 years we've had what's known as a learners conference to really have those individuals connect. So anyone who's struggling with reading issues can contact the library. I
know partnerships are just a crucial part of what you do, and you've got the Cone Park partnership and neighborhood resource centers. Give me a little bit on partnerships in the library district.
Okay, well, we partner with over 200 agencies in Alachua County.
Can you name them all, please?
No, I cannot name them all, but I can give you a couple of them. Okay. And I'll start with the library partnership, because this was actually birthed in 2009. We were looking for a location in East Gainesville, And our Partnership for Strong Families was also looking for an area in the 32609. So library partnership consists of the library, Partnership for Strong Families, the Casey Foundation, Department of Children and Families.
Right.
And what that has done, and it's called a Neighborhood Resource Center, because you have the library and a social service agency in partnership. And I think that this particular location has clearly shown how other agencies can come together and work together. There are over 30 social service agencies that come to that location, that individuals are able to go there and get not just library service, but an array of services. And we've also replicated that same service over at Cone Park. And then the partnership at Cone Park is having Partnership for Strong Families in the building, but that location also is a partnership with the City of Gainesville Recreation and Parks, because the city was generous enough to allow us to put a library in a park, and that's the first one of our kind. So that's a partnership. We also partnered with the University of Florida College of Medicine. We have the mobile outreach clinic that's at about 5 of our locations, so we offer those health services at those locations through the mobile health clinic.
They come on a regular schedule? So
yes, they come weekly, and that's posted online, and the people in the community have the advantage and the opportunity to come and take advantage of that service as well.
I know you mentioned the renovations at the wonderful downtown headquarters. You've had a lot of expansion and renovations, though, over the years.
Yes, we have. Starting with headquarters in 2012-13, that's when we totally recarpeted, repainted, refreshed, reorganized, repurposed, and clearly renovated it. That's when we added the teen space, took some existing space that was a collection to add the teen space. And I just want to say that the teen spaces and the Snuggle Up Centers, we have the Alachua County Library District Foundation, and they have been very generous in funding those for us as we've expanded.
Right.
We also added a quiet reading room at headquarters and some additional study rooms and meeting room space. And the Friends of the Library funded the quiet reading rooms for us.
What a great organization.
Yes.
There are times when I can't get up Main Street because there's so many people going across the street to that Friends of the Library book sale.
Yes, the book sale is amazing. They hold it twice a year, and it's an amazing sale.
Do your surplus books go to the Friends of the Library book sale?
Yes, they do.
I know they get donations of books
yes.
as well.
They get donations from the community as well, but books that really haven't been checked out, we weed our books periodically. If they haven't been checked out for a period of time, then we do donate them to the Friends of the Library, and they sell those, and then they in turn make contributions to the library. And
by no means is the library just Gainesville-centric. I know you have important branches in Waldo, and what other
we actually have a branch in all of the municipalities except for the La Crosse area.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. You've got the anniversary coming up, I know.
Yes, we do.
Tell us about that.
Headquarters building will be 25 years old.
Seems like it was
February
just
2nd.
yesterday that was filmed. What happened?
Yeah, that's what I've been saying, Mark. What happened? Because I actually was at the grand opening in '91 as an employee, and so I'm very excited about it because it's an opportunity for the community to come out with us on that day. We have a time capsule that we're going to be unveiling, and it's going to be very interesting to see what we actually put in there 25 years ago, and I know there's some documents in there, and so it would be...
Is there a picture of you?
I doubt that very seriously. If it is, I'll be very surprised. But I will say I'm almost positive there's probably a long-range plan and a budget, and so it would really be nice to see what those documents look like 25 years later.
Right. Give me the details on the 25th anniversary.
The 25th anniversary is going to be February 1st at 10 a.m. At the headquarters location in Meeting Room A. We will also have different programs throughout the day for the public to take advantage of, and we will also have behind-the-scenes tours. So if the public would like to go in the staff areas, for instance, the Automated Services Department, the Technical Service, and just sort of see the behind-the-scenes working and operations of the library, that would be available to the general public as well.
Yeah.
We're inviting all of our city and county commissioners, school board members, elected officials, So we're hoping that they will be there to celebrate with us. We will have a souvenir for the public. We will have a beautiful souvenir booklet that everyone can hold on to. So we're just hoping that the community will really come out on that day and celebrate with the library the wonderful things that we've done over the past 25 years and the wonderful things to come in the future.
You know, well, two things actually.
Mm-hmm.
The headquarters building is an amazing facility,
Yes,
and
it is.
at the top floor of that is a wonderful meeting room
Yes.
that the county certainly takes advantage of. We hold a lot of our events there. Is that something, I know you do events where the public comes to that. Do you get the word, is that a meeting room that's available for public
That's
organizations?
a meeting room that's available for the public to use as well.
Okay.
In addition to the beautiful meeting room A at headquarters, we have a foundation room, a meeting room B, and about 6 study rooms, and all of those are available to the public to use.
So they can call the library and just kind of get an
Yes.
idea of the
They
calendar?
can call
and
the library, or they can go online and reserve a meeting room.
Gotcha.
And we have meeting room space available at all of our locations except for Micanopy and Waldo.
Gotcha. One thing that's a very important part of the library is we do have a digital divide in Alachua County that has gotten a lot of attention lately.
Correct.
And there are areas in the county, unfortunately, that we still don't have high-speed internet access to, and there are frankly just some people who can't afford what it takes to be well connected. And the way you all fill in that gap is just amazing. So can you share with our viewers just how folks are able to use the library to connect?
Yes, and I'm going to talk about the outlying areas because I think that's where the greatest challenge perhaps exists.
Right.
Having those libraries, for instance, like in Alachua, Archer, Newberry, the library may be the only internet location for a lot of the individuals who live in those communities. We do have computers at the library, and we have Wi-Fi.
So you can bring your own
So
device?
you can bring your own device there and be able to access that.
Yeah.
And we've had instances where we have been told at our libraries and at other libraries throughout the state and the nation as well that for those families who cannot afford internet access, it's not unusual to see them sitting in a library parking lot after hours with their device just to get that. So that's where I feel we're actually helping to bridge the gap there. But even beyond that, I think that it's very important that we understand that there is computer literacy. And so we do offer those computer classes as well to help bridge that gap.
Shaney, on that note, thank you for everything you do. It's an amazing system, and thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, Mark, so much. Thank you.
At socialsecurity.gov, you can apply for retirement, disability, or Medicare from your own home.
Chekhov applied in his pajamas.